Stub Clubbers, and welcome back to another 25 Days at Disney. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Brian.
We're at day 15, and we're going to be actually talking about a very recent film that is currently in theaters. We're going to talk about our thoughts and opinions on Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Whoa, cool.
Ralph, isn't this great? We are going to the internet!
Super excited. Just one minor thing. What is the internet? Oh, holy cow. Look at all this stuff.
Congratulations, you're a winner!
Really?
These 10 child stars went to prison. Number 6 will amaze you.
That sounds interesting.
Ralph, come on!
So we're going to just say it right now, spoilers.
It's just filled with spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, go see it and then watch this.
Yeah. And we're going to give it a couple seconds so that, or if anybody that's filming it right now that hasn't seen it yet, they can go somewhere else to not hear it.
Okay. Listen. Yeah. So I'm going to go into this internet concept that we had going on in here, just like it was all the video arcade game stuff in the first one. It is so jam-packed with so much stuff that I tried so hard to look everywhere to try to find everything, and I know I didn't because Disney is just so awesome at hiding stuff.
They were able to get a lot of different companies, Facebook, eBay, which they call eBoy a lot.
MySpace was in there. I saw.
MySpace was in there. There was it was almost like the first one with all the different video game characters, which they bring in new ones. Sonic the Hedgehog's in it, which I don't believe he was in the last one.
He was in the background. He didn't really talk much.
But so he talks in it, and they actually get the animator or the voice actor who does Sonic in the video games to actually play him. But we get a lot more. We get different things like they do Buzz Video or BuzzTube.
Yeah.
Instead of YouTube because they couldn't get the rights to that. They do a lot of different things that are different from what you see on the internet, which I'm sure there's something on the internet which is BuzzTube somewhere, but it's probably not what they were referring to in Wreck-It Ralph.
It's just so incredible how much they jam-packed in there.
Oh yeah, because it's just like the first one, where they jam-pack all the video games they have.
It's an overhaul of sensories on your eyes trying to find everything.
There is a Stan Lee cameo in it.
Yes.
So that was a very good thing, especially since he did pass away 2 weeks ago at this point that we're filming right now. There's a few things though that I did enjoy about the movie. The concept where the whole movie's about friendship, which is understandable because that's what the last movie was about. It's almost like they downplay it a little bit though, because they basically do the same thing from the last movie. Although I didn't enjoy this movie very, very much after seeing it. And that's just my opinion on it.
Well, for me, like, the one part I'll go into that I really didn't like was the whole cloning of Ralph. I thought it was stupid. And especially then when they had him come together as one huge Ralph.
They basically make him a computer virus.
Yeah, and to me it was just super cringy because it literally looked like there's just a bunch of Ralphs humping each other all on this big, huge...
Yeah, it was
I didn't like it. To me, it took up too much time of the film that they could have done something different, and they could have made so much better solution in there, because to me it was just... I didn't like it, and that was one of the parts I was just sitting there. I'm like, can this part end? Like, I want to see all these internet references. I want to get back to the Disney princesses. We'll get in a second. That kind of stuff.
So, like, in all honesty, the part that I actually didn't care about that part. It was an odd part, but I understand what they were doing. The part that I didn't like was the whole race part of it, because you knew what was going to happen, that they weren't going to get away with the car, because they have to go into this. They have to go into this online video game, which is called Slaughter Race, and the woman is Shank. Yeah. The main character the main character of the gang, the leader of the gang, is actually played by Gal Gadot. So that was a very welcome surprise because I love Gal Gadot. And they have to steal this car because they're trying to get a whole bunch of money. The whole thing comes off of Sugar Rush, Penelope, right? Vanellope Von Sweets, that's her name. The video game's steering wheel breaks off and then it breaks in half because they try to put it on and they put it on too hard, and the whole thing for them to go into the internet is to get this steering wheel from eBay, or as Ralph calls it, eBoy.
And they have no money.
And they bid like $21,000, something like that. So it's a lot of money, and they don't realize what bidding on this is, what this is. And that was also another thing that I didn't enjoy, was that the person that was probably bidding on it was bidding for the store, because they were online in the store going on eBay for it. So it's like, it's a whole mess, and I didn't enjoy the plot of this movie. I enjoyed the first one. The first one was awesome. I loved them going into all the different video games and all the different cameos and characters, and Ralph was actually really good, played by John C. Reilly. And this one was just, it was boring. This is about a 2 hour long movie.
Close to it.
I felt every minute of that 2 hours. It didn't excite me at all, and I was actually excited to see this movie.
Something that was incredible about this movie is they actually brought in all of the Disney princesses that was originally like 2-dimensional animation, so the very flat look that was concentrated on the company for so long. They went and redid them to make them the 3D animation that we have going on with Frozen, Tangled, Zootopia, everything that section that wasn't Pixar that they were doing.
Hi. Whoa, ladies, I can explain. See, I'm a princess too.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Princess Vanellope von Schweetz of the Sugar Rush von Schweetzes. I'm sure you've heard of us. It'd be embarrassing for you if you haven't.
What kind of a princess are you?
What kind?
Do you have magic hair?
No.
Magic hands?
No.
Do animals talk to you?
No.
Were you poisoned?
No.
Cursed?
No.
Kidnapped or enslaved?
No. Are you guys okay? Should I call the police?
Then I have to assume you made a deal with an underwater sea witch where she took your voice in exchange for a pair of human legs?
No. Good Lord, who would do that?
Have you ever had true love's kiss?
Ew, barf.
Do you have daddy issues?
I don't even have a mom.
Neither do we! And now for the $1 million question. Do people assume all your problems got solved because a big, strong man showed up?
Yes. What is up with that?
She is a princess!
And so they redid them, and I thought they did a pretty good job. There's a couple of the princesses I was a little bit disappointed how they created them, but it was awesome that they got the original voices. However, I will admit the one problem with that is many of those Disney princess movies are 20-some, even more years old. And so even though we have those original Disney voices in there, their voices can change.
Yeah.
So there are some Disney princesses that it sounded really close. Pocahontas to me didn't sound like Pocahontas at all. Ariel with Jodie Benson, her singing voice was still pretty close because Little Mermaid was 1989. So think of how many years have gone by, their voices has changed. So it was cool that we got that in there. But if someone would not have said that they were originally going to be in there with their voices, some of them we would not have been able to figure out.
I did enjoy that they did take a shot at Brave in this movie.
Because she's the Pixar princess.
Yeah, you can't understand a word that she's saying, and the funny thing is that Brave actually beat out Wreck-It Ralph, the first one, for the Emmy, I believe it was.
Was it?
So they took a shot at her because you couldn't understand a word they said, and even Vanellope goes, "What is she saying?" And they go, "We don't know. We just agree with her." So.
I gave my mammy a cake, she turned into a big bear. My Aldrin tried to dare in. If that's not a pure mess, I don't know what is.
We can't understand her. She's from the other studio.
I really could have had them be in so much more of the movie. I loved them in there. And I was upset that the whole clip was already shown online with just them in their pajamas. But when we got the stuff at the end where they were playing different score music and then being all goofy with their slingshots with the dresses and putting Ralph in the Snow White dress, that was just awesome. And the way how they worked together, and Ariel's hair flipped like it was in the water, and we have Elsa doing her thing, that was just golden.
I wish we had, for me, I think we had a lot of the princess, and I really enjoyed seeing those too. I wanted to see a lot more Marvel, and I wanted to see a lot more Star Wars. Because those
they did there was a little bit right at the beginning of the My Disney.
It was a very little bit, but you could see a lot more happening, because especially if they would have put Ralph in it instead of Vanellope, there could have been a lot more fun, because you see Iron Man, but they don't say anything because they have different actors for the voices from the cartoons and the animated movies and stuff like that that all sound very close to Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. and Thor and all that. And I wanted to see a little bit more. They have the stormtroopers from Star Wars say stuff, but that's the easy thing because all they have to do is talk and they can put the stormtrooper voices over them. So I wanted to see a little bit more, but we do get that Stan Lee cameo, and that felt really it felt really good to see Stan Lee in
and
something
that was done
different.
before he even passed away, so this had nothing to do with him passing away, if
No.
some of you guys don't realize that. So
It's funny to see how much of an impact that he did have, because he's been in almost every Marvel movie except for I believe except for one. No, actually I believe except for the old Blade movies. But in the recent ones, I believe he was only not in 2 movies, and that was the 2 Ghost Rider movies, because those were just awful. But I would have liked to have seen a little bit more with Marvel, because you do see Iron Man, and he's doing the repulsor ray to somebody, and he's not doing anything with it. But that was where I wanted to see it. I think we got a lot with the princesses. Like, we got a lot more than I thought we would.
I thought that was the best, though.
Well, in all honesty, it probably was the best, because again, the rest of the movie was not.
But it's still worth to go see it, because there's so much stuff that you're, like I said, that visual sensory overload. So thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you join us tomorrow for the next 25 days of Disney. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And also we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Bye-bye.